friends, it's time for a timeout. So grab your favorite beverage and your favorite chair and join us on today's show. Get ready to send us your comments and questions for our incredible guest. I'm your host, Steve Francis. It's going to be a great night on Time Out with Steve. Hey everybody, welcome in. Come on in tonight. Welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you on this Tuesday night edition. Last Tuesday in May. So glad you guys are joining us. Come on in. I see y'all jumping on tonight. It's exciting. We've got Susan Cox says good evening. Hello, Susan. And some others jumping on right now. So welcome. Come on in, guys. It's so great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting a little stronger with all that's going on. Wilda Pingle says watching. Hello, Miss Wingle. Miss Wingle. Look at me. I can't even talk. Miss Wilda, thanks for watching. Glad you're here tonight. And we got some others jumping in, joining us. So come on in. Hope you had a great holiday weekend and that your family had some family time together. The weather was pretty nice overall. Patricia Chapin says here. Hello, Miss Patricia. Glad you're here. And I hope we took some time to say thanks to our military crew who paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we could have a holiday weekend and express our freedom at church and at home and around the country. So, again, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Send us your comments tonight. Hop on. If you got a question for our guests, let us know. We've got some great guests tonight. It's going to be a great show. And we always have to start with a dad joke. So here's the dad joke of tonight. Here, are you ready? What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Now, you guys should get this one. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. Yeah. That's a pretty old one, but I thought it was good to resurrect it a little bit. It's not your cheese. It's not your cheese. So that's a pretty good one. All right, great. Hey, we got some more coming in, so come on in, guys. Thanks again for watching. We got our guests here. We've already done a test. I think they're ready. We're ready, so let's bring them on in. Here are the Boyers. Welcome in, guys. Hey. Awesome. So we have Luke and Summer Boyer here. Do you guys have a West Plains address? Okay, I was going to say all the way out in, far, far land a little bit. So how are you guys doing? What's going on in the Boyer household with all the corona jazz? How are you guys doing?
Working every day like he always does. And I've worked from home. This is my first week off. But besides that, we're doing good.
Good. Yeah, so I agree. That was part of my experience. Some people said this corona, they just sat home in their pajamas and ate chips all day. And I'm like, that wasn't my experience. Like with what I do, I had to work that had to be done. And I would say with both of you guys in the school business, like there are lots of things to be done. Is that right?
Really?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. We did bake some cookies and banana bread and stuff like that.
Well, I got that problem going on too. I call it the Corona diet, and I've got a little problem with the Corona diet. Can y'all relate to that? All right, so
that has been a big change of pace for us.
Yeah.
It's just being home during the evenings. And so even as the school year wound down, no Wednesday night church service. There's no graduations, no award ceremonies, banquets, baseball games, all those school activities that we would normally be involved in. We just, even then our kids' activities as well. It's just, so, we're lucky to get an evening or two a week at home. And so having 6-7 evenings at home together was a big change. So we've been playing some board games and watching a little bit of family television together. So that part of it's been nice.
That's fun, and of course, then when you're at home like that's when for us the Corona diet kicks in, because then it's like, hey, why don't we make some cookies or banana bread, as you said, or brownies, something good that we really didn't need, but we did it anyway. So,
Yep,
that's good. What's that?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, so let's talk about the Boyer story. Where did you guys grow up? Miss Summer, you want to go first? Where did you grow up?
I grew up mostly in Wright County. I went to elementary school at Mountain Grove, and then I spent a little bit of time at Houston Elementary School, and then I did junior high and high school at Hartville, and that's where I landed. It's Hartville.
Okay. And Luke, what about you? Where did you grow up?
I was born and raised, and the house that I was born in is where I graduated from, and so we grew up in Hartville all my life, and so the metropolitan area of Hartville.
How big?
Population 500.
500. That's what I was going to ask. How big is Hartville? 500.
65 in my graduating class.
65. Did you have a stoplight in Hartville?
We have a blinking stoplight.
Okay.
Four-way stop.
Yeah.
Four-way stop. Gotcha. Okay, good. All right, Jill Pietroburgo says, looking good, guys. Thank you, Miss Jill. Pat Crawford says, nacho cheese. So she got the joke. I got at least one person that got the joke, so that's good to know.
He got it right away, too.
Oh,
I was all over it.
all right. Thank you, Luke. Awesome. Okay, so that answers my next question. Obviously, you guys met in Hartville. That was my question. Where did you guys meet?
Yeah. So Summer's a few years younger than I am, and so actually I was in college really whenever we got together. I was already in college, and she was still back at home. So anyway, we really didn't spend a whole lot of time together growing up, or in any time together, but later in life, that's when we got together.
Okay, so you got together during when you were in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in high school.
What's that?
I was in high school, and he was in college.
Oh, watch out now. Watch out. Watch out.
I know.
I knew a keeper when I saw one.
There you go. There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Smart man. Smart man. Okay, so how long have you guys been together?
19 years.
19 years. Is that married or like total time?
Married together, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Married. We've been together the entire time we've been married.
That's
so
good.
19 years.
Well, some people answer that like, well, we dated this many years and then we got married, so we've been a total of this. So that's why I was kind of curious where you guys landed on that. So
We dated for 2 years. And
Okay.
So I guess 21 years total.
wow. Okay. So this
You
year's
didn't wear that old, did you?
No, I can't believe it. So this year will be number 20.
Yeah.
Wow, big one. Okay,
Favorite, right?
maybe.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about your family now. After you got married, I know that you have a family. Tell us about your family.
Our oldest child is Andrew. He's 15 years old. He's a part of Echo. And then Ian is 12, and he's in 2911 with us and loves 2911. And then Allie is 10, and this year she just graduated from Roots, and she's going to join 2911 next year. So that's kind of where they're at. Of course, they have wonderful Sunday school teachers, and so if you're affiliated with them at church, that's where you would have seen them at.
Oh, yeah. So you mentioned 2911. I was going to get to that a little bit later, but tell us about 2911. What is that, and what is your part in that?
Well, 2911 is a program that started a long time ago. It's not anything that I'm responsible for, but this last 2 years, it's basically our junior high youth group that we have every Wednesday night. And so for the last couple of years, I've been lucky enough to be able to lead the message on Wednesday nights. We have a big team. It doesn't just happen because of me, but I at least get to bring the message, which is fun.
Yeah, it's a great group. It's a lot of fun over there. You guys feed the kids and do some activities. It's a great group.
It is. We have 40 on an average night. Some nights will be a little bit lower than that, but then other nights will be higher than that. So
that's great.
That's a lot of kids over in that building. A lot of junior high kids.
Oh yeah, yeah. So someone named Lori Smalley. Do you know Lori Smalley?
That's my mom.
She says, "Love this family." Can you guys see that comment?
We can't.
No.
Oh,
No.
Let me see if I put it over here. Can you see it now?
Still can't see it, but we
Okay.
believe you.
Well, she put in a comment, "Love this family." So thanks for paying her to comment on your show tonight.
Love you too, Mom.
Okay, so let's fire on away some questions. Who cooks in the Boyer household?
I cook and he grills.
You cook
So
and he
I
cook?
I don't touch the grill. So if it's on the grill, he does it, and I cook everything else.
Okay,
Summer's
so
a very good cook.
ooh,
She's,
awesome.
yep, she's a very good cook.
So what do we like to grill on the what's Luke's thing on the grill?
I'll do anything on the grill. I mean, I would prefer a nice ribeye on there, but that doesn't happen very often. So a lot of times it's just burgers or chicken or pork chops or pork steak, something like that.
All that sounds good
Meat is
actually.
high these days, you know.
Yeah, really, unbelievable. I went to
Yeah,
Walmart and they actually had some in the case the other day, but it was $5.99 a pound. So,
that's yeah. Well, I think my dad just sold some cattle a couple weeks ago, and I think his brought less than 5.99 a pound full weight. So
well, I didn't buy any at that price. I kept walking. So,
cheap at the sale barn, expensive in the stores.
yeah, that's a good point. And speaking of which, Thursday is National Hamburger Day. So, there's our little beef plug. Get your hamburger. Favorite place to go?
Um, like for vacation or for just in general.
Both. Let's do both.
So like if we were just gonna go somewhere, I would prefer to go see our family. That would be my favorite place to go.
Okay.
Like his parents and my parents. For vacation, I always love a beach vacation, but my favorite vacation was Yellowstone
Ooh,
vacation.
ooh, that's good. I've been there. It's nice. Yeah, I'm up for all those. Sounds good. Luke, what about you?
I agree. If you're spying on us, you would swear it was Walmart,
That's true.
but but that's not the truth. I promise.
Yeah, good old
Yeah,
Walmart. I've been there a few times myself too. So you just got to go to Walmart, I guess.
you just sometimes you got to do it.
Oh gosh. All right. Favorite food?
Between the both of us, we've never met a pizza we don't like.
Ooh.
So that would probably be if the combo answer there. I like
Okay.
a steak. If it's just me cooking for myself, a good steak, and
I like pizza. It's
I,
good.
okay. So do we go thin crust or thick crust?
I like them both.
Okay.
Probably a midline would be my favorite, but like hand tossed.
There you go. Luke, same for you.
yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Just put it in front of me.
Okay. Well, I like a good St. Louis style pizza, personally. I like them all same ways, but I like a good St. Louis style.
Yeah.
Thin crust, Provel cheese. Some people don't like that. Okay, I got a couple jokes for since you're in the school. Both you guys are in the school business. Do you know why the kids studied in the airplane?
Hmm.
Why did the kids study in the airplane?
I can't come up with anything good.
He wanted a higher education.
It's good. That's good.
And then the other one is, what's the difference between a teacher and a train? This one's kind of corny. What's the
A
difference?
teacher and a train.
A teacher and a train. What's the difference between a teacher and a train?
I don't know.
A teacher says spit out that gum, and a train says chew chew. It's pretty corny, I know.
I was getting ready to say that.
Wait, yeah. Oh my gosh, good. Okay, so let's talk about what you guys do. So I think your official title, at least according to the website, is that you are the assistant superintendent of the West Plains schools. Did I get that right?
I'm one of a couple. Yeah.
Okay, so what does that mean? Tell us about a day in the life of Dr. Boyer.
Well, so for me, I'm over transportation, finance, and security are my three main hats. And so, I'm kind of responsible for all of the business aspects of the school, the budget. We have good quality workers that do a lot of the painful work, but that would all fall under my umbrella. Payroll, accounts payable, that kind of things, just general bookkeeping. And then transportation is just a matter of making sure kids get to where they need to get to and figuring out what happens if they don't and how we can improve that and how to deal with the needs of the drivers. And then security is just, constantly keeping an eye out to make sure that, our facilities are as safe as possible. I know a lot of times we think about the worst case scenarios and the needs for SROs and items like that, but it's just general safety in general, looking for blind spots in hallways and just your day-to-day, safety for the student every day. So just objects and items and things like that can be improved on, access to doors and just general security, not worst case scenario security, but just if your kid's going to go to West Plains, we want to make sure that they're in the safest environment possible for all different aspects. So, did that answer it?
Yeah, that's great. That's an incredible answer. I'm like stressed just hearing you talk about it. Like, so you deal with the money, which that's stressful in and of itself. It's either like you don't have enough or how do we spend what we have? And then you're dealing with transportation, which is, gosh, keeping vehicles maintained as well as thousands, at least hundreds of people on a daily basis getting to the place they're supposed to be and hopefully make them happy. And then you got to deal with the security. So like, man, I'm tired just hearing you talk about it.
Well, I mean, I basically oversee the individuals that take care of a lot of that, and I'm blessed to have good employees that work alongside me. So they do a really good job and make my life easy.
That's great. Well, it takes a leader. So how long have you been at West Plains School District?
I just finished up my 10th year at West Plains.
Wow, 10 years.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of change in the 10 years?
There's been a lot of change, a lot of good change. We have great students. I've got, I think if everybody could spend a day in the life of a high school teacher or just stand in the hallways, I think their jaw would drop with the misconceptions of what they think of what we're being led to believe is happening in our school districts and the way that our school districts actually operate. I go back to a statistic, that we had 2 years ago, is that we had 0 fights in the high school for the entire year, that is all scuffles, anything that would be marked in the office as an altercation. We had 0.
Wow.
Now, and since that point in time, we're talking 2 or 3, in the years following that. So almost minimal, what you'd call, large scale misconduct. It's very typical that on a morning that, somebody might say, "Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Speak to me." That happens multiple times a day. Our kids are very well behaved. They're not all perfect angels 100% of the time, but for the most part, we have really good kids.
Man, that's awesome. And it's great to hear you say that from your perspective because you see the behind the curtain, so to speak. So that's great to hear you say that. And I'm a transplant at West Plains, so that's been my experience from the outside is just, the staff and the students and a lot of really awesome staff, teachers, administrators who care about students and who are really top quality people. And so it's pretty cool to see the team that's been assembled here. It's a great.
Yeah, we're awful lucky.
Yeah. And before that, West Plains, what did you do?
I was the superintendent at Koshkonong for 2 years. And then prior to that, I was the superintendent, or really the sole administrator of a small K-8 up in Texas County. And then prior to that, I taught high school science back in my hometown of Hartville for 6 years. My dad and I made up the science department.
Whoa.
Yep. Good times.
That's cool.
It was great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys taught science together.
We did.
That's a great story. Awesome.
We actually had a door that connected our rooms that we kept it propped open a lot of the times, not all the time, but so it was a lot of fun.
So
he was a teaching partner.
Who was the better teacher, you or your dad?
That's an interesting question. He'd been teaching for 30 years to 32 years, and so there are definitely things that he could get by with that I couldn't get by, and so
Oh,
he
yeah.
had a completely different relationship with kids than I had.
Yeah.
So if you would ask the kids, hands down, he was the better teacher. Now, if you were to ask me about technique and style and progression, we tied.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Oh, awesome. So you mentioned Koshkonong. That's even smaller than Hartville, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's smaller than Hartville. You know, I was, and then the K-8 school before that was 120 kids. So,
Wow.
you know, I had a desire to get into the administrative side of things, and so whenever you start down that path, you're just fortunate for whoever will take you. And so actually, Koshkonong was a great opportunity for me. It allowed me to learn a lot. Actually, the teachers down there did a great job, and so it was quite a blessing.
That's great. We're so blessed to have you here, and man, as you hear the name Luke Boyer on our team, it's like everyone's positive, and that's really cool to hear. So thanks for your leadership there. And then Miss Summer, like you are in the school business as well, right?
I am.
So tell us about your story. What do you do?
I teach early childhood special education, or actually now I'm the process coordinator. I did start out at West Plains teaching that class. But so early childhood is for ages 3 to 5, and it's for children that have special needs, or have you probably heard of an IEP before?
Sure.
And so we serve kids based on their IEP and what goals that they have in that plan to work on. We work on the deficits and try to bridge that gap and make them help them, be more on par with their peers in whatever developmental area they could be delayed in. We serve the K-8 schools as well. So our department will maybe go to Fairview and serve some of their kiddos, or Glenwood or whatever. So we serve those kids, and sometimes we have daycare kids that we serve as well.
Oh, wow. So what are the age group of the kids you would service?
Age 3 through 5.
3 through 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I do the testing for the kids and see if they qualify for services, and then our teachers are the ones that then would implement the IEPs.
Sure. And that's a crucial age, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is. We have a lot of kiddos that go on to kindergarten, and they're able to test out of special education services, and so we do really fill a huge need in our community that really helps the kids to be successful in kindergarten, and catch those that are behind, and let them get the help they need in kindergarten.
Yeah, so you would be the first interaction possibly with a child coming into the school system?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you would walk them through to the time they go to kindergarten?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, so again, that's a process too. So do you guys have a lot of students in that age category?
Yeah, we typically have anywhere from 80 to 100 kids that we
Wow.
serve every year.
Wow.
Yep. We've got 2 itinerant teachers that travel and see kids, and we've got 1 center-based teacher that has a classroom with children, and then we have our West Plains preschool that has some kiddos in there.
Wow, that's great. I was just thinking this. Emily Groves Gibson says, "What an amazing young family." That's her comment.
Thank you, Emily. Appreciate that.
It's pretty cool. And that's really what I was just thinking here. Like, man, just like so many aspects about the Boyer family that makes it cool. Like, you guys are obviously sharp people, trained well in your field with lots of experience. And so you bring all that to the table. But you care about people and seeing people grow in their journey and their process. And so you bring that to the table too. And it's really great to see folks like you guys leading our students. And so thank you guys for what you're doing, and kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sure there are tough days, but I'm sure, or would hope, there are a lot of rewarding days as well.
Absolutely.
Is that a true statement?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I think we both, we both find frustration at times, but I think if we had it all over to do again, I think we'd both be doing what we're doing.
Wow, that's great. So, what was your favorite subject in school?
Lunch? No. PE? No. Science. Science was definitely my favorite. It's
Okay.
the one that it came easiest to me.
Yeah.
Science for me as well.
Really? So, do you guys do experiments at the Boyer household?
We try not to make that big of a mess. We have messy kids, but no, we don't do we really don't sit around and have science time at the house.
When our kids were little, we probably did more so. I stayed home for 10 years. And when I was a stay-at-home mom, we found time for stuff like that more so. But now that we're both working and the kids are every direction, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We did some cheesy things, but probably not much more than the average family. We just did the kits and stuff that you buy at the stores, and so we have a lot of discussion, but just as far as sitting around and doing experiments, probably not too much.
Okay. All right.
Not as much as we should have, probably.
Oh no.
Thanks for calling us out on that.
I just thought, how cool would it be if your mom and dad were both science lovers? Like, we could blow stuff up all the time.
Yeah. We should have.
We should have. So, if I could put y'all on the spot, do you have a great school story that man, in my school career, this was a really rewarding moment, or here was an experience I had that was just like, man, this is why I teach, I educate, I administrate. Do you guys have something that really sticks out to you?
Before I was a stay-at-home mom, I did teach high school special education in a self-contained classroom. And self-contained classrooms are typically kiddos that would not be successful in a regular education classroom. And I had a kid that was obsessed with bacon. He loved bacon. It was pretty much all he wanted to talk about. He was one of my favorite kiddos. And I saw him at Silver Dollar City a couple of years ago, and he was bussing tables, and he did a magic trick for my kids. And it was just really cool to see him. He was living in an RV park by Silver Dollar City, but just to see him be out on his own and to have a job and to be able to interact with my kids in a really socially appropriate manner, it was just really cool and neat to see that.
I bet, do you get to see a lot of your former students? That would have to be rewarding.
That was from Marshfield, so I don't see those kids, but
okay.
I'm sure my kids, when I started here, the oldest would be in third grade now, so
Right.
It is neat to kind of watch them
Yeah.
go through West Plains Elementary School and keep up with some of the families on Facebook. It is really fun to watch and see how far the kids have progressed.
Yeah, that's great. Great story about the young man at Silver Dollar City too. That's pretty cool. Luke, do you got one?
I think that just as a classroom teacher, your experiences are much different, and in a lot of ways, that I really miss that student aspect of teaching, which is maybe one reason why 2911 is so fun for me. So just being a teacher, being able to connect with kids and see them excel and basically look to you as a source of information and guidance and direction in their educational career is really a blessing. I don't necessarily know that I've got that story of a kid that I turned their life around and made them something that they wouldn't have been. But I do think that I have a lot of stories where I connected with students and helped them through small situations and helped them see that there were options that they had in the field of science, because maybe I gave them a different look at the subject than what they had before. As an administrator, it's just being a part of a decision and seeing that decision come through that you see help people and you see make a difference in kids. And that's probably a little bit less rewarding than that direct student student relationship you have. But, it's still those things that somebody's got to be making those decisions and, making that change. And so I'm happy to play that role as well.
Well, and good, solid, consistent decisions have to be a blessing that does trickle down to those students.
We hope. Yeah, we hope.
Good. Well, guys, we've been on here 30 minutes. We've got lots of folks watching. It's been a lot of fun for me. Anything y'all want to, hey, I really wanted to say this, or I want to mention this before we jump off here?
Not me. No.
Well, thank you.
Had fun.
Enjoyed
it.
I have too, and I appreciate hearing you guys' story. Thanks for sharing your story with us, and it's been fun to get to hear the story. And man, thanks for all you guys are doing during this crazy time of COVID with the school. I know the school is feeding kids and still trying to educate kids through packets and connections. And so, man, thanks for you guys' leadership there, and hopefully we'll be through this soon.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.